So, sixth graders, seventh graders. We've gone through how to solve equations that involve adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing. And you've learned how to prove your answers. And today we're going to move on to what are called inequalities. And these are written similar to equations, except that they use the inequality symbol. And you've used this before in other years. It's the less than sign, or less than or equal to sign, the greater than sign, or the greater than or equal to sign. And those are going to be in our equations in, starting tomorrow. Today we're just going to review how to read those symbols, how to graph on a number line using those symbols. And so let's talk about that and the procedure here. So first of all, an inequality. Okay, what is an inequality again? Tyler?
It means two sides are equal, but could.
Yeah, they are not equal, or maybe they could be equal. Okay? An inequality does not show that they're completely balanced, that one side is either equal to or could be less than or greater than. And so they're written using these symbols. How do you read this? How do you read this statement? Peter?
Would it be 5?
This is an S.
Oh, S. What would it be? S. Would it be S less than 55? Would it be
Less than or
equal to
55.
Wait, that's supposed to be a 5?
This is the number 55. This is the letter S.
Oh.
Okay? Now, you might see this on a road sign, for example. Miles per hour. Have you seen the sign that says 55 miles per hour speed limit? Speed limit 55 miles per hour.
That's an
Okay?
51.
Stop talking. If you've seen this, it means that you can drive a speed of 55 miles per hour or
equal to
or less. Okay? Sometimes on the interstate, when you're driving on one of those 4-lane roads that go between the states, it'll say a minimum speed as well. A minimum speed of 40 miles per hour, or a maximum speed or a speed limit of 70 miles per hour. Okay? How would you write then the minimum speed of 40 miles per hour? How would you write that as an inequality? Starting with S, the letter S, so there's the line through it so you don't get confused. We've got a lot of talking and extra talking today. That's the second strike already. What about a speed minimum of 40 miles per hour? Your speed must be greater than or equal to, what's the speed minimum? What did I say? 40. Okay. What that means is the speed, S, Allison, has to be greater than or equal to the number listed. Okay? Show me slant, Allison. Thank you. Now, these numbers can be graphed on a number line. And here's some basic examples. First of all, when this is written like this order, which has the variable listed first, and then the symbol, and then the number, you can graph it this way. First of all, you need to mark the numbers on the number line. And always mark where 0 is on the number line. Because then you can tell where the positive side is and the negative side. Then, if the symbol is just greater than or just less than, then we're going to use what's called an open dot, which means we mark the number, but we use an open circle. We just use a regular circle on the number. And then you're going to draw a line, or what we call shading. You're going to draw a line based on what the symbol tells you. So if the symbol says less than, that means any of the numbers less than the number that's marked makes the statement true. What do I mean? Well, if we were to put a number in here, let's say we chose the number 2. 2 is less than 5. Is that true? Yes, so the number 2 is a value that makes this statement true. We could replace 2 with n, or n with 2, and make it true. Okay? So, when we're graphing, we're actually graphing and we're showing all of the numbers that work or make the equation true. Make the statement true. What if we saw this on a graph, or we saw this graph? How would you write the inequality for this? First of all, what variable is listed? What is this a graph of? Tate?
Oh,
N, that one's N. Yep, you were just looking at the wrong one. That's okay. So the first thing you write is N. Now, which way is the arrow pointing? Yes, of what direction? Right or left?
Oh, sorry, right.
It's pointing to the right. When you're writing your symbol then, you point your arrow the same direction as the shading is going. So if the shading is going to the right, then you use the greater than sign. When the shading is going to the left, then you use the less than sign. Now, you also need to look at the dot. And if the dot is an open dot, then you use just the greater than sign. Okay? In the next example, it has a solid dot, and that's when you use the greater than or equal to or less than or equal to sign. Then, the last thing to do is write the number that's marked. So, this graph shows that n is greater than -3. Does everybody see that?
yeah.
This shows n is greater than -3. Armand, what does this one show? What's the variable?
X.
Yep. Which way is it shaded? Left or right? Left. What symbol should we use? Less than or greater than? Less than. What type of dot is shown? Yeah, we call that a closed or a solid dot. And what it actually means is that the number listed is